Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Boy oh boy, what is happening as the demonic forces are trying their best to give the last signs of the power and trying to put everyone in fear. We have to remain calm, but we also have to pay attention to what important leaders say. That's why I decided to bring to you most of this video will be the address to the nation that President Vladimir Putin, the president of the Russian Federation, has given yesterday. And the reason for it is because the reason for me bringing this to you in full length is because most of the time, if not all the time, people come across his words or other people, important officials, leaders' words and the snapshots. And those snapshots are very often twisted, taken out of the context, don't give you the full picture. And you really have to narrow your mind and your focus and hear the leader when he speaks. Besides the aspect of feel the energy, that is my approach. So we're gonna start with this. This will be full address to the nation based on a transcript provided by the Kremlin, translated into English, and then I will have some words from Maria Zakharova about Poland, how Poland is on the target list. No surprise at all, actually. This is due to the base, US base, that was very recently opened in Radzikowo, which I have addressed in my previous videos. Also talk about it with Scott Ritter, for example. And then we will have a comment, not of the day, but comment of Radosław Sikorski. You remember him, thank you USA, after Nord Stream pipeline, poof, who is the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Poland. So a counterpart, because there is no counterpart to Sergei Lavrov, really. But let's jump straight to Putin address to the nation. And as always, before you leave this video, this channel, make sure to hit this like if this content brings you any value, subscribe, leave the comments down below, and if you choose to support my work, you have to go to the previous videos because I am traveling, so there will be only articles attached, no PayPal, no other platforms. You find it on the under other videos. The links will be in the pinned comment section, okay? So let's start. President Putin address to the nation. I want to update the personnel of the Russian armed forces, the citizens of our country, our friends throughout the world, and those who continue to harbor illusions about the possibility of inflicting a strategic defeat on Russia, about the events that are taking place today in the zone of the special military operation. Specifically, following the use of Western-made long-range weapons on our territory. Continuing the course of escalating the Ukraine conflict, which was originally provoked by the West, the United States and its NATO allies announced that they are authorizing the use of their long-range precision-guided weapon system on the territory of the Russian Federation. It is well known to experts, and the Russian side has repeatedly emphasized this, that it is impossible to use such weapons without the direct involvement of military specialists from the countries that produce them. On 19th of November, 6 US-made ATACMS, I spell it because I'm not sure how you pronounce, ATAC-MS, tactical missiles, and then on the 21st of November, UK-made Storm Shadow and US-made HIMARS systems in a combined attack struck military facilities on the territory of the Russian Federation in the Bryansk and Kursk regions. From that moment, as we have repeatedly emphasized before, the regional conflict in Ukraine provoked by the West took on element of a global character. Our air defense systems repelled those attacks. As a result, the goals that were obviously set by the enemy were not achieved. A fire at an ammunition depot in the Bryansk region caused by the fall of ATACMS missiles, debris was extinguished and there were no casualties or serious damage. Our troops are successfully advancing. In the Kursk region, an attack was carried out on one of the command ports of our North Group. As a result of the attack and air defense combat, there were unfortunately casualties, dead and wounded among the personnel of facilities' external security units and personnel maintenance. The command and operational staff of the control center were not wounded and are operating normally, managing our troops' actions to destroy and expel enemy units from the Kursk region. Once again, I would like to emphasize that the use of such weapons by the enemy is not able to affect the course of the combat operation in the zone of the special military operation. Our troops are successfully advancing along the entire front line. All the goals that we have set will be accomplished. In response to the use of American and British long-range weapons on November 21st, the Russian armed forces launched a combined strike on a facility of the Ukrainian Defense Industrial Complex. They tested one of Russia's newest intermediate-range missile systems in combat conditions. In this case, a ballistic missile with a non-nuclear hypersonic configuration. Our missile engineers named it Oreshnik. The tests were carried out successfully. The goal of the launch was achieved. On the territory of Ukraine, in the city of Dnipropetrovsk, one of the largest industrial complexes well known since the days of the Soviet Union, which still produces missile equipment and other weapons, was hit. The United States made a mistake. We are developing intermediate range and shorter range missiles as a response to the United States' plans to produce and deploy missiles in Europe and the Asia-Pacific regions. We believe that the United States made a mistake by unilaterally breaking the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty in 2019 under far-fetched pretexts. Today, the United States not only produces such equipment, but as we can see, is deploying its advanced missile system to different regions of the world, including Europe, during training exercises for its troops. Moreover, throughout such drills, they are conducting training on how to use them. I remind you that Russia has voluntarily and unilaterally committed itself not to deploy intermediate and short-range missiles so long as US weapons of this kind do not appear anywhere in the world. I repeat, tests of the Oreshnik missile system in combat conditions are being conducted by us as a response to the aggressive actions of NATO countries against Russia. We will address the question of further deployment of intermediate and shorter range missiles based on the actions of the United States and its satellites. We will determine the targets for further tests of our newest missile systems on the basis of threats to the security of the Russian Federation. We consider ourselves entitled to use our weapons against the military facilities of those countries that also allow their weapons to be used against our facilities. In the event of an escalation of aggressive actions, we will respond just as decisively and symmetrically. I recommend that the ruling elites of those countries that are hatching plans to use their military contingents against Russia seriously consider this. There will always be a response. Of course, when we choose, if necessary, as a retaliatory measure, targets to be hit by systems such as Oryeshnik on Ukrainian territory, we will warn civilians in advance. We will warn civilians in advance and also ask the citizens of friendly states who are there to leave the danger zones. We will do this for humanity reasons, openly, publicly, without fear of countermeasures from the enemy who will also receive this information. Why without fear? Because as of today, there are no means of counteracting such a weapon. These missiles attack targets at the speed of, I don't know how you say it, Mach, M-A-C-H, 10, which is 2.53 kilometers, and that is 1.9 miles per second. Modern air defense systems and US systems in Europe cannot intercept such missiles. It is impossible. I emphasize once again, it is not Russia but the United States that has destroyed the systems of international security and is pushing the entire world towards a global conflict by continuing to fight and cling on to its hegemony. We have always preferred to and now are ready to resolve all dispute questions with peaceful means. But we are also ready for any scenario. If anyone doubts that, they are wrong. There will always be a response. Okay? I mean, pretty clear. If people still don't believe it, like Sikorski, that's another story. But wasn't it Polish government that evacuated first in 1939 when the bleep hit the fan? History tends to repeat itself, or we have the same schmucks, demons, reptiles, running the countries. Surprise, surprise. So now everyone, as it was clear in the face, and if we're still confused, I mean, Putin is draining the swamp in his own way, that's what I will say. And now let's go to Maria Zakharova. Let's see, Putin, Sikorski. So, Sikorski. Polish foreign minister dismisses Moscow's claim new US army base in Poland is a nuclear threat, because Maria Zakharova stated that. So let me read you this article. Radosław Sikorski has dismissed claims from Moscow that a new American missile base in Poland possesses a nuclear threat. The dismissal comes after Russia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said this on Thursday, that the base in Redzikowo, I said this in my last live stream with Scott Ritter, it's the base very close to the Baltic coast, north of Poland, that the base in Redzikowo near the Baltic coast was another frankly provocative step in a series of deeply destabilizing actions by the Americans and their allies in NATO in the strategic sphere. This is quoting Maria Zakharova. This leads to undermining strategic stability, increasing strategic risk, and, as a result, to an increase in the overall level of nuclear danger. End of quote. She added that a strike on the base could be carried out using the latest military technology and that it was on a possible target list. Before I continue with the response from Sikorski, you see how it's all connecting here? Because we have, what's the name of this new weapon? Russia already has in Oryeshnik. Yeah, maybe this is where Oryeshnik could be heading next. I mean, when people wake up. In response, Sikorski said, the comments were nothing new. Ignorance. And that Russia has about 6,000 nuclear warheads, so it has enough to destroy the entire globe several times in a row. This was Sikorski. Poland's foreign ministry spokesman, Paweł Wroński, so again, Maria Zakharova counterpart, I'm just saying because like what counterpart they're really, added that the base, which was opened on November 13th, so what, a week ago, a little bit more than that, as a part of a broad NATO missile shield, did not have nuclear missiles and that it was purely for defense. Such a threat will certainly serve as an argument to strengthen Poland's and NATO's air defense and should also be considered by the United States. So this is the response from Poland, everyone. I just want to say that it wouldn't be surprising if those people like Sikorski have the private planes ready somewhere in the background of their mansions. And he lives in a really nice one, by the way. Can I just tell you? Historical building. Beautiful place, I have to admit. But who knows, you know, it's just that plane is very close and you just hop in and you fly away somewhere, maybe Switzerland, or you don't go to Israel now because that's not good direction. So you go somewhere else, or maybe you actually go to US, you know, who knows? But isn't it surprising to all of us how careless those people are? I just want to say one thing. I know I'm sounding sarcastic. I'm not trying to make it less important than it is, but I just don't want to live in fear, and I have a little bit different approach to all of it. Unfortunately, without all this tension and all those things going on, many people in this world will not be able to wake up and really see how their governments don't give a shit. And I said it. And how they just care about themselves. Because a lot of people really believe in the media. And where I am staying, right here, doesn't matter the name of the place, the CNN news is running 24/7 on the big TV screen. So what are we expecting? Right? People are busy paying their mortgages, car loans, priced items, buying the stuff, but they don't really pay attention to what matters. And then they don't have time to seek the truth. That's all I have for you, everyone. The links will be in the pinned comment section because I don't have computer with me. Thank you so much for watching and for all your support. Lots of love. And remember, we are the leading edge and we are trying to save the humanity. Bye, everyone.